I rise to talk about the issue of illegal immigration in this country in a very simple way. As a prosecutor, it's about following the law. As an auditor, it's about following the money. And I would state for my colleagues today that so much of the problem is about following the money. You have crimes you can deter in this country, and you have crimes you can't deter. Now, let me tell you a crime we can deter. We can stop the hiring of illegal immigrants in this if we prosecute the people who are hiring them in this country. Because other business owners will stop hiring illegal immigrants if they see businesses being held accountable. This administration has not been interested in enforcing the law against employers. Now, it's hard to deter our families that are trying to feed their children. And the wall, yes, I support border enforcement, of course. As a former law enforcement official, I support enforcing the law against anyone who breaks the law. But let's be realistic about this. As an auditor, I want to be efficient and effective. Is it going to be efficient and effective to think we're going to solve this problem at the border? It's not the border that's going to stop the people that are coming into our country illegally. It's what's on the other side of the border. It is the promise of that job and the hungry mouths they're trying to feed. So when I look at the raid that occurred in Springfield, Missouri a few weeks ago, when over 100 illegal immigrants were arrested, I kept watching the news for some word about that employer. Silence. All the raids that have been occurring recently, I think because of the administration's anxiousness to try to get this bill across the line, I have yet to hear one word about an employer in this country going to jail for hiring illegal immigrants. Now, I know, they're going to say the employer down near Springfield at the chicken processing plant, you know, these people had fake IDs, they had fake Social Security numbers. If anyone believes that employer did not know they had illegal immigrants working there, I've got a bridge I want to sell you. Of course they knew. And you give a good prosecutor a couple of investigators, you send some people in undercover, and you will gather the evidence in short order that dozens and hundreds and thousands of employers in this country are not playing by the rules. Now, is that fair? No, it's not fair. And I'll tell you who it's not fair to. Many of my colleagues have said it's not fair to the American worker. I'll tell you who it's not fair to. It's unfair to the businesses that are playing by the rules. It is fundamentally unfair that many businesses in America are requiring the kind of documentation that assures them. They are paying withholding. They are following OSHA standards. They are doing all the things they must do, while other employers are paying cash under the table to pad the bottom line. Follow the money, Mr. President. I got to tell you, employers right now, under the current law, can serve 6 months in prison. If we would do some of those prosecutions in this country, it would do more to shut the flow of illegal immigrants than all legislation we could pass in this chamber. Because it would send the message to American employers that you're not going to be rewarded with more profits by breaking the rules. A lot of the money behind this bill, there are so many people behind this bill who have hearts that are full of compassion. And I certainly, Mr. President, think of you and your family as I make difficult decisions on this bill. But I've got to tell you, there are lots of people behind this bill that it's all about the money. It's all about the profit. And if we want to stop illegal immigration in this country, we've got to get serious about the magnet that's drawing it to our country. That is, look the other way when people are illegal immigrants. And until we stop looking the other way to those businesses who are not playing by the rules, we will never effectively deal with immigration in this country. Let us bring in legal immigrants for a workforce that we need. But how do we know what workforce we need as long as we're not holding those who are breaking the law accountable for hiring illegal immigrants? I have an amendment that would also bar any company that is found to hire illegal immigrants from participating in federal contracts. I would hope that that would become part of this legislation. I know there have been enforcement measures added to this bill, but frankly, 6 months is plenty, Mr. President. You put an owner of a business in jail for 6 months in a federal penitentiary for hiring illegal immigrants, and let that word go out across America, and you will do more to clean up this problem without us spending another dime of taxpayer money than anything else we can do. So if this president is serious about illegal immigration in this country, I suggest that he call his Attorney General and he say to his Attorney General, we know that they've given them instructions, we've heard about it in the Judiciary Committee, about priorities of their administration. Tell this Attorney General we want employers who are hiring illegal immigrants by the hundreds in this country to be prosecuted under the law and to spend some time in jail. And that would get to the bottom of the problem. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.